Hi, my name is Michaela Prouty, and today I will be discussing the effects which the COVID-19 pandemic has had on the state of Massachusetts and propose how a vacant college campus can become the first of its kind model for health-centered communities. We will start with a brief overview of the current issue of healthcare in Massachusetts. First, we must identify the problem. There is a lack of freestanding medical facilities, creating a void for medical space during a pandemic or any other public health crisis where hospitals are overwhelmed. Small colleges within the state have been closing rapidly, both prior to and during the pandemic. We have world-class educational and medical facilities, but access to care is strained. Massachusetts is repeatedly a leader in healthcare, but is 48th in the country to implement ambulatory care centers, with 250,000 Central Mass residents traveling to Boston to seek care. What is the solution? I propose that we redevelop existing properties to match the needs of healthcare providers and patients and invest in freestanding medical facilities to bring care to the local level. Okay, so at this point, you're probably asking yourself, but what exactly is a health-centered community? This is a concept which Harvard Medical School and MIT created prior to the pandemic and is defined at the top of the slide. Essentially, it is a solution to evolving changes in healthcare delivery in response to real estate and consumer trends. For example, both baby boomers and millennials are intersecting in their expectations for their health and want walkability, convenience, and quality of life as they continue to age. There are three major issues within the state as we enter year 3 of the pandemic. Massachusetts was one of the first states to see a surge in cases in late March of 2020. Since then, there have been more than 20,000 lives lost, mainly during the first wave. The graph in this slide illustrates the seemingly never-ending waves which have affected the state over the last 2 years. Senior living solutions were first impacted as the virus was spreading before anyone even knew it had arrived, with demand dropping as residents moved out due to high spread and visitor restrictions. Massachusetts residents delayed care to avoid hospital settings, and elective surgeries, including orthopedic and cancer treatments, were closed down several times over the last 2 years in order to increase resources for COVID care. At this stage, staff shortages are the newest dilemma as providers leave the field due to burnout, illness, and vaccination requirements. In Worcester County, the site of this case study, 700 St. Vincent Hospital nurses went on a 10-month strike in the spring of 2021, ultimately closing wings and beds, overwhelming the only other local hospital, UMass Memorial, at a critical time. The proposed site is the recently closed campus of Becker College in Leicester, Mass. The campus is located on the town common of Leicester, which has a population of 11,300 and a median household income of $84,000. The campus is adjacent to the town services such as Town Hall, EMS and Fire Headquarters, and is conveniently located along Route 9, which is a major east to west route in Mass. Leicester is highlighted on the map to the right. It is directly next to Worcester, New England's second largest city, and is 1 hour from Boston, Hartford, and Providence. Worcester Regional Airport is less than 5 miles from campus, with daily flights to JFK offering convenient travel for residents. This image offers a bird's eye view of the campus. You can see the mix of building types, ample parking, as well as recreation amenities, and the major roadway is seen on the right. This illustration gives a better idea of the campus layout, with red identifiers showing the upper campus and blue identifiers showing the lower campus. Previously, the lower campus was mainly used for dormitories and can easily be converted to townhouses and aging-in-place apartments for seniors. At the time of its closure, the Becker College campus consisted of 19 buildings with a mix of building ages and size. I suggest that the 44-acre campus be subdivided into separate villages, including an area designated for each sector listed. Buildings will be retrofitted, but based on their previous uses, not many changes will be needed. Dormitories will continue to be residential. The campus center will now house medical offices and a fitness center, and the cafeteria will offer socialization as well as healthy dining options. As is true with most of Massachusetts, the history of the property runs deep, with Massachusetts residents proud of their history and historical references often adding to property value. The school was founded in 1784 as Leicester Academy to provide educational opportunities to all children, not just the wealthy. At this point, John Hancock and Sam Adams signed the founding charter. The two are well known as founding fathers of the United States as signers of the Declaration of Independence. Additionally, the Reverend Samuel May House is situated on the campus and is designated as part of the National Underground Railroad Network to Freedom and is part of the U.S. National Park Service. Reverend May was an advocate for abolition and women's rights, as well as the uncle of Louisa May Alcott, who spent many summers writing at the house. Ralph Waldo Emerson was also a frequent visitor to the home. As with any development project, the highest and best use must be identified. In this scenario, there are two different parties interested in the property. The town of Leicester sees value in the property as an answer to their need for new schools, and the second party is a private user who could subdivide the property and ultimately see an end value of $50 million. The town opted to purchase the property for $17.8 million, with plans to use the parcel as a new middle and high school campus. The value of the property may have been greater to the town with the campus being sold to a private user, as property values would increase with job creation and potential for tax revenue with a new user. With schools being moved to the campus, there will be large vacancies for those properties and no added jobs to the community. In terms of zoning, it must be determined whether this use is legally permissible. The campus is zoned for business and residential use, falling into the orange and khaki colored zones. The two most complex zoning restrictions fall under the senior village development and farmers markets, which are both proposed in the plan. However, the town farmers market already exists on the common, and senior housing bylaws align with this use. Environmentally, there are no wetlands or any other issues on the campus that should present any issues. How will this benefit the community? There will be a rapid response to residents from the EMS services, providing a sense of security to seniors. On-site urgent care and rehabilitative services will ensure that community members can access appointments as needed. Quality of life will improve with the healthy lifestyle available. Economic benefits include job growth and well-paying jobs in healthcare. The town lost its largest employer with the departure of Becker College, and the potential for a flood of homes to enter the market is there. The Becker campus provides 248,000 square feet of usable space, which is broken down into specific uses listed in the table at the right. The only non-residential property for sale in the market is an obsolete mill with very few uses, as it is not appropriate for retail. The ceiling heights and doors are not suitable for industrial use, and there would be a large expense to retrofit the property for any other use. Vacancy rates in all sectors are lower than the national averages, showing the booming Worcester market as people continue to leave Boston due to high housing costs and commute times in the post-pandemic era. Commercial rents in Worcester are currently at $15 per square foot for rentals and $152 per square foot in sales. The Becker vacancies can impact the market, increasing supply and ultimately negatively affecting rental rates and sale prices. The purchase price of the existing property is estimated at $17 million. Based on the scope of renovations to convert existing buildings for specialized uses such as medical and lab sciences, as well as residential and senior living, total renovation costs are estimated to be an additional $17.8 million. This will result in rentable units that span both commercial and residential sectors. As seen on the table, the medical and lab science units will by far require the greatest renovation costs, with per square foot costs of $100 to $225. To finance this project, we are looking to secure a loan based on a 70% loan to value ratio. This results in a relatively straightforward capital stack consisting of long-term debt in the amount of $24.4 million and equity investments of $10.9 million. This debt is anticipated to be a fully amortizing loan with a 10-year term and an interest rate of 3.25%. The first year of operating results can be seen to the right. Total gross potential rent from the commercial and residential units is anticipated to be approximately $3.9 million in the first year, with total operating expenses of approximately $722,000. This results in an NOI of approximately $3.1 million. After servicing the debt, the net cash flow after debt in the first year is expected to be approximately $248,000. The levered IRR of this project is 17%, which is significantly higher than the long-term average return of the stock market. Further, considering the high degree of leverage in the project and the low cost of interest, the IRR is also significantly higher than the weighted average cost of capital. This makes the project desirable to investors. What is recommended? I propose that the campus is subdivided, creating niche communities across sectors while creating a safe aging in place solution for seniors. This will ultimately maximize property values while maintaining the historical town center. Partnerships with existing major healthcare providers in the region will be beneficial to implement care strategies. These providers have existing relationships with labs and therapy centers who can fill life science and medical space. Mass General Brigham has been hoping to enter the local market, but was forced to scrap plans in April of 2022 when they were accused of driving up healthcare costs and only entering wealthy markets. A proposal such as this may appeal to major providers and the Attorney General, who will not allow them to enter the market despite an obvious need. Ultimately, converting the property to a health-centered community has proven to be beneficial to physical health of the local community and the financial well-being of the local economy, proving that this is a proposal worth considering. Thank you.